Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Elky here with you guys today. Okay, so welcome to our section for today for our monthly trader stock. So today is a special section whereby we actually delayed our section from it should be this Monday, but we delayed it to today because we really want to know whether Mr. Roti Canai in US whether did he really implement the tariff plan as mentioned. And yes, yesterday uh the tariff towards Canada, Mexico, and also China has been implemented accordingly. Okay, but of course, right now there are some hiccups. There could be some changes, and we're gonna share with you guys later in our sharing section today. All right. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our sections. Much traders Much traders talk by Inter-Pacific Securities. Okay, so I'm your speaker for today. My name is Elky. Okay, so for those that who haven't been knowing me too much or haven't been joining any of my sections, okay, um, you give me minutes. Haven't been joining my sections, so this is oops, sorry, some technical issue. Okay, let me try again. Share screen. Okay. All right. Um. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep. So for those who haven't been joining my section before, okay, my name is Elky and I'm your speaker for today. Okay. So basically, I'm a dealer, running a team in Inter-Pacific Securities, which has been around since 1972. Okay. So we are part of Pujara corporations, and our side is we are really focused on Bursa Malaysia products, stock equities, and we also offering foreign equities trading as well. Okay, yeah, but today what I'm going to share with you guys will be more focused on Bursa products, Bursa stocks, equities, all the stocks that listed in Bursa Malaysia, and also share with you some of the updates about the market on and also the potential strategy that we could look into for the coming months in March. All right, okay, yep. So first of all, we're gonna start with some of the review of what happens, what are the points that we had shared in our February monthly trader stocks, and then uh, moving from there, we're gonna move on to talk about a little bit on US tariff and also some earnings insights. What are the earnings that happening in February, and also lastly, we'll be on some of the strategy and also what are things to be looking for the month of March. Okay, yeah. So if we look into the performance, the sector performance for the month of February, we can see besides financial services and also plantations, all other sectors went down. Okay, of course, we have another one, construction, right over here as well. Construction is slightly up. Okay, and this is the database on the end of February, the closing of 28th of February. And if we take the data as of like yesterday closing, then the percentage will be much down. Okay, yeah. So for the FEM KLCI, it's also just barely up by 1% for the month of February. But we can see that small cap went down by 6%. Okay, this is a little bit abnormal because normally if we look into the seasonality charts for the month of February, we should see small cap overperforming FBM KLCI. The small cap, the trading interest in smaller counters will be much aggressive, much proactive in the month of February compared to the blue chips, because seasonally February it should be a positive month. Okay, yep. But this year we can see that February is not really being really nice to most of the traders in the markets. Okay, and out of all the sectors we can see like technology, utilities, and also healthcare. These are the three that most severely impacted and being dragged down by the counter performance. Okay, so we can see if we compare to seasonality, yep, the seasonality suggested us that healthcare and technology usually they are the one that are not performing in the month of February. Okay, so if you have followed our section in February and you avoided these two sectors in the month of February this year, then congratulations. At least I suppose that your portfolio won't be as damaged as that compared to tech stocks counters traders. Okay, and we can see that seasonality wise, we can see that in February plantation usually should do better, whereby yep, we can see that from in the month of February, plantation stocks actually is the sector that really performing compared to all others companies, all other sectors that been coming down. Okay, yeah, so that's for the seasonality in the month of February. Okay, so so what's the outlook right now? Okay, so if we look into the outlook right now, so after the FBM KSI has staged some rebound in February. Okay, yeah, so does it mean that what's the outlook for FBM KSI right now? So if we look into the chart of FBM KLCI, we can see that under after January selling, okay, we can see a very steep selling happening in January. We had minor rebound, really small rebounds in February. They were attempts, but you can see that it's just nicely resisted along the trend line over here. Okay, this black color trend line. Okay, so that's why you can see that despite that we are seeing some buying pressure in the month of February, especially early February, okay, right after Chinese New Year, and a little bit attempt to rebound in by end of February, but it's still coming lower and just ended the month slightly above the January month end. Okay, it is coming back to this area whereby this key support cluster at 1530 to 1555. Okay, so we can see that this is a very important support cluster over here, whereby if we have the break, if the FBM KLC are unable to be supported above this area, we will be seeing a forming of a topish patterns, or you can say it's like a rounding top, and then we might see much further selling towards 1440 area for our blue chips index. And if that really happened, then we might see some of the stocks. Right now, we already have a lot of smaller counters, smaller cap counters. They are hitting their 52 weeks low. Okay, if we are seeing FBM KLCI coming down to 1440, and yes, a lot of blue chips, good strong fundamental counters, they will be trending lower as well. Okay, yep. So if you are one of them who are looking for bargain hunting on all these strong counters, blue chips, okay, then you might really want to monitor very closely this month. Okay, see whether FBMKC are able to hold at this area or not. Okay, 1530 to 1555. Okay, if it penetrate really break below this support level, support cluster, then you might want to start to take some actions to support some of the markets by placing some of the small orders, buying through the selling down. Okay, with the immediate support that we are seeing is at 1440 if this support cluster being cleared. Okay, next if we are looking at the small cap index. Okay, we can see that in the month of February we have been mentioned that the small cap index had came to the key supports at 16,940 area. Okay, yeah, so this red color line that's been drawn. Okay, so we can see that in the month of February we see a clear break, and that's exactly what happens, the steep selling. So similarly, this line that being drawn right over here, it is the key support level, just like what we are seeing on the FBM KLCI. So for FBM small cap, they have broken below the key support already, but for FBM KLCI, they are still testing. Okay, so if we see the breakdown below this level, we might see a very strong selling move like what we are seeing on the FBM small cap. So right now, after such a steep selling, we might see some corrections, some bargain hunting. Okay, but no doubt we are seeing there are still downward space for FBM small cap, whereby if you're trading small caps, you might really want to take a more active approach, whereby if you are buying at the low, if you see some profit, you might really want to take the profits rather than just holding and hoping for a V-shaped rebound all the way to 1800 levels. Okay, that might not be happening until we are seeing the FBM small cap clearing above 16900 area over here. Okay, yeah, so what might happen is we might see some rebound and then continue to trend lower until we are seeing it's trying to find a footing, something like this, okay, around this area. Okay, yeah, so do be more risk averse and also be more cautious when you're trading small caps, and see, I would advise that see profits, take profits, and then if you want to really like live for long-term investing, just live a little bit small balance will do. Okay, so that you have more bullets to be more flexible trading in current bearish situation for the FBM small cap. Okay, yep. So how about the plantation? So we are seeing plantation has been the one that who outperformed all other sectors in the month of February. So can then my clients will usually ask, hey Elky, then still can buy. Can I move all other counters that are dropping to plantation? All right. Okay, so that's usually what the retail clients they'll be asking. Okay, so if you look at the Bursa Malaysia Plantation Index, we are seeing that the plantation index after the rebound in the month of February, okay, we are seeing some selling pressure coming in, this bearish engulfing that we are seeing starting in the month of March. Okay, and one thing to take note is this rebound over here, we are not seeing a very strong momentum, as if we are seeing a very strong momentum, it should be trading somewhere around above this area, above 7700 area for this plantation index. But instead the rebound was small, and when it comes to 7600 levels, it couldn't able to break through. We had double rejection right over here, and then the pressuring down. Okay, so technically wise, we are seeing the plantation index, the momentum is not there. So we might want to be really careful on the plantation index. And fundamentally, if we are looking into the crude palm oil seasonality, we are seeing starting in the month of March, okay, until all the way until September, it is entering a seasonally weaker period of time. Okay, it is the FCPO is seasonally lower in this coming 6 months, 6 to 7 months that we are looking at. Okay, so if we are expecting that the CPO prices, the pump prices to be go lower, okay, what do you think the plantation companies gonna react in their share price? Okay, how the market gonna react towards plantation stocks share price? Okay, so this one I leave it to you. All right. Okay, yeah, but if we based on the 20-year seasonality from the Bloomberg, we can see that in March, in June, in September, and most of the time during this period of time of the 20 years, we can see more red compared to green. Okay, yeah, and starting from August onwards, then we are seeing more green. Okay, and that's even pick up further in October, November, and December, and that's actually the reason why we are seeing in the month of February, okay, the plantation counters able to outperform the others, because for the QR, the earnings that released in the month of February, it will based on the oil price, their business in the month of October, November, December, which seasonally they are gonna be good. Okay, yeah. So February is a good month to trade on plantation stocks, and this year, yes, it's still happening the same. All right. Okay, so if we look at the crude palm oil price wise, we can see that this is a double top selling down, break the midpoint, and then it hit the 1-to-1 target, attempt to rebound, but yet it's still resisted at 4650 levels. Okay, we can see another small double top and breakdown, and we are expecting a further selling from that. Okay, so from here we can see that this is the recent high, and then it's formed a lower high, and from there we should see a much further more towards downward bias for CPO price, and then it might even come back to test 3600 levels around here in this band, at this support band. Okay, for CPO prices on the technical view. Okay, so just now you can see that beside plantations, the finance index, the financial sector, they are also slightly performing compared to much all other sectors. They are still up by 1 point something percent. Okay, it's still better than others who are went into red for the month of February. Okay, so if we look at the financial index wise, we can see that it's still going on uptrend and it's rebounding after hitting the support at this region. Okay, yeah, so we might see the strength in the all these financial counters like the banks, all this try to retest the high. Okay, but if we are seeing reversal or sharp rejections on the financial index, then it might go into a sideways congestion area around this range. Okay, yeah, so for those who are interested to buy banks, or you are holding banks, you might really want to look very closely at 18,500 levels to 18,800 levels for financial index to take a hint whether if the whole sector is coming down or not. Okay, yeah, because usually if the whole sector is coming down, means that it's telling you that it's a sector thing that's bring your counters coming down, and that might prolong into a much longer and extended period. Okay, yeah, but if we look at the banking industry wise, okay, like reasons some of the banks, like they have posted quite a strong result, like for example RHB Bank give the highest annual dividend after their record earnings, and also if you are looking at globally wise, EU banks also reported record profits after they have raised their rates. Okay, so our rates still has been maintaining at 3%, so it's still at not to say high side, but it's stable. Okay, and our banks, they are benefiting from it. Okay, but if so these are some of the major 6 banks that we are looking at. Okay, so we can see most of them, their profits, they are still going up. Okay, like CMB is slightly lower, and also MBank is slightly lower, but all others four, they are still higher with a slightly improved in their revenue. Okay, even MBank, the revenue is also slightly higher. Okay, but we do want to be aware that the profit margin is more coming down rather than heading upwards, except for Hong Leong. Okay, even Maybank also heading downwards for their profit margin. Okay, so we can see that the growth could be slowing down a little bit from there. Okay, and from there we might want to see if really the finance index, if it really unable to break through this high that they recorded in the month of September last year, then we might really want to take some profits and exit some of our position in banking counters. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's the review for the month of February. Okay, and some of the ideas on what to do if you are still holding some of the stuff from February. Okay, and how about for this coming month, for March? Okay, no doubt for the month of March, we'll be looking very closely on the development of the U.S. tariff, U.S. tariff policies, and also trade wars that is happening. Okay, and of course, we also going to go through some of the potential earnings to look at, and also the seasonality. Okay, so the very first, the trade wars and U.S. tariff. So we have Trump right over here. we have uh, from uh, from UK, from China, from Mexico. Okay, so we can see that effective last night. Okay, the tariff on Mexico, on Canada, and China has been implemented, but okay, as early as this morning, okay, Lunik has came out and said that there are still room for negotiations. Okay, he even mentioned that Trump could even scale back this new tariff that kicked in just on the 4th of March, okay, which is yesterday. Okay, yeah. So that's why I said he's a president that maybe like roti canai a lot. Okay, so in this kind of situation, we might really want to be really careful in our positioning, especially if you are implementing any strategy that uh, based on the policy that US or Trump is proposing or trying to implement. Okay, yeah, you really have to be nimble. Whereby anytime whereby this thing is implemented, but immediately they have a changes or something changes like this. Okay, then the whole market could be like really wild and also try to adjust towards its. So in the month of March with all these scenarios, all this thing happening, we could expect that the month of March is likely to be a volatile month, and also that could be really bad for Malaysian market, because Malaysian market is a much smaller capital market, and some of those who has been losing money in the month of January, February, especially we can see small cap has been coming down a lot. We might see some of all these ones that cut loss and exited the market. They could be standing on the sideline. Okay, so in the month of March, unless we are seeing something very clear and very convincing and really strong positive with strong positive catalyst, otherwise we might see the trading volume in the Bursa to be lesser and thinner as the time goes by amid this kind of volatility, because many could like really trying to stay on sideline until things are more cleared. Okay, yeah. So we can see that these are some of the goods that's gonna be tariff. Okay, yeah, with the focus on steel, aluminium, and also some all these medical and chips, and of course cars as well. Okay, so so um, so with the tariff going live, okay, we can see that immediately China, as of yesterday, even before the Trump has decided to proceed with the additional tariff, China has actually have put up that they will retaliate with some of the tariff on the U.S. goods, mainly focused on agriculture goods like soybean, some of the poultry products, all this. Okay, and if you check back, this could like really hurt U.S. Soybeans a lot. Okay, that's why if you are trading on some of the futures, agriculture futures, grains, all this, you can see all these markets, all these prices has been coming down, taking a really taking a hit. Okay, on this issue. Okay, so not only China. Okay, Canada overnight also has been putting up some of the interviews, and also being really clearly stated that they are ready with the retaliations tariff as well, and they might even try to limit the energy towards US. Okay, so if we look into right over here, the US tariff towards Canada, we can see that they have 25% on all goods and only 10% on energy goods. Okay, so apparently this energy goods is a pain point for the US, whereby US they really rely on it, so that's why they are not putting up such a high tariff on the energy goods. And apparently Canada, they able to catch that, and they try to use that as a bargain chips with the US. Okay, so with right now US side saying that there are still room for discussions. So these 2 days we would expect some volatility, whereby if Trump or the US side able to back down, and we might see some recovery in the markets. Okay, but personally, I would expect that the recovery should be shallow and still remain. It could be unsustainable because, like I said just now, some of these ones that got hits, they might really need to take a break, or and stay at on the sideline, as the all these dramas being developed. Okay, so that is what could happen in the market. And for the fundamentally wise, if we are looking into a long term, into the economic scenario wise, what could really happen is, which if the tariffs still go on Canada, Mexico, or even the sorry, uh the courts, I miss the name. Okay, the reciprocal tariff towards all other countries, all other nations, that could really lead to full-fledged trade wars, and also that could really create a much slowing down in global economic growth. Okay, this is what we are looking at. Okay, so if you are and with this all this tariff going on, not only the slowing down in the economic growth, but it might spark uh, sparks up inflations. That's for the past 2 years we have been seeing all these central banks, Feds, ECB, they have been trying to tame the inflation rate that so high during the MCO periods. Okay, the COVID-19 periods. Okay, and that might release the inflation to come back out again. Okay, so if all these tariff are in place, we might see a much higher inflation, or even we might not call it inflation, but it might be stagflation, because we are seeing a potentially stagnant in the economic growth, or even declining economic growth, but with an inflation. Okay, usually inflation, it should be come as economy it grow higher, it's grow better, and also we having inflation, which that's normal, that's a healthy scenario events that we are looking at. But if we are seeing tariff happening, and that trade wars happening among other nations, that despite that we are having a slowing down in all nations GDP, in the global economic growth, on the same time we're going to have inflation, and that could really create some crisis that we are talking about. Okay, and other than that, we might see a lot of trade diversification, whereby for the US trade partners that have been doing the business with the US all this while, they might really want to find an alternative partners, instead of just sticking together with the US. Okay, because with all this going on, even Canada has been known as one of the US closest partner. This could happen to Canada, and that could trigger like Taiwan, like Japan. They could be start thinking, is this something that might happen to us in future? Okay, so we might see there could be reshuffling in the trade partners for all the nations, and from there it will be a new landscape that we are looking at. Okay, yeah. So this is some of the study from some of study based on the if we really have the tariff retaliations, and also the US tariff being implemented, we can see that this dot line will be the new GDP with the retaliations. Okay, yeah. So we can see US will still impacted, but all these other nations like Canada, like Mexico, they will be really heavily impacted in a long run. Okay, it really dragged down the GDP, and of course, we also will see a higher inflation happening. Okay, in a short run. Okay, and as the time it goes by, it will go lower, because the GDP, the economic growth is not growing. So a lot of all this maybe um, monetary easing, all this thing might come in, whereby that could bring down the inflation as well. Okay, but that will be much later. But the immediate impact will be see the spike in the inflation. Okay, yeah. So all in all, what we will be seeing is with all these tariffs going on, it could affect the supplies of all these commodities and also the all these base materials that we are looking at it. So if for some of these companies which is focusing on this kind of business like aluminum related, like steel related, especially they are not only they are doing exports, we might see immediate impact towards all this company, whereby the demand might be surge, might be spike up, okay, but eventually it could slow down as they are facing trade deficit, trying to find a new destination for their products. Okay, so what we are see, so a great example will be like glove, whereby we are seeing a huge bulk order from the glove as it reaching the tariff timelines. Okay, but of course when the demands are met, or even they stock up for all these products, that for the next coming 3 to 6 months the demand is expected to be lower. Okay, yeah, so we will be seeing the earnings suddenly up and then went down all the way, then only back to the normal. That would be the expectation on the earnings. Okay, and also with given that if all this tariff going on, all this the low interest rate that we have been enjoying for the past 10 years, it might not coming back so soon. Okay, so for Malaysia wise, it could be a real pain, whereby we might continue to see foreign fund outflow and not seeing the inflow coming so soon. Yeah. Okay, so our local stocks market has been really being suppressed with the outflow of the foreign funds, and we can see that the outflow has been continuing for weeks and months. All right, okay. But on the other hand, okay, Southeast Asian region could be the potential beneficiary on all this tariff drama going on, as Southeast Asia is now seen as the popular destinations to go on with, like plus one policy, whereby for those business, they might have their business in like for example like glove, they have their business in China. Okay, but if they are exporting to China, to US, they will be facing a very high tariff. Then they might have what they are doing right now is they are building a factory, expanding into the Indonesia to build a factory, and then trying to export their glove from Indonesia to US. Okay, in order to meet the market still. Okay, so Southeast Asia is a very attractive area, whereby many of all these mega business, they are looking at as to set up something like this, which Malaysia is also inside the region. Okay, yeah, so hopefully once we are seeing the tariff issue more settled down, okay, then we might see some of these opportunities and all these foreign funds coming in uh, into our area. Okay, yeah, so that would be the idea for the tariff, okay, to get you prepared for the month of March. Okay, yep. So earnings and economic outlook. Okay, so we can see for the month of March, for the month of February, a lot of company they collapse, have really bad earnings. Okay, but if you have been following our earnings recommendations, okay, on the QR earnings recommendations, whereby for the month of February we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counters recommended from our financial analysis in our platform. Okay, Four of them they are actually performing, including Versatile, SCG Berhard, M-Clean, and also Intabina. So these four out of these four, these three, Versatile, SCG Berhard, and Inta, they have been in the list top 10 in this list for over 6 months. Okay, they have been performing, their result has been improving. So these are the counters which has been posted continuous growth over the past 5 quarters. Okay, so for JCY and Aceta, they are not performing. Okay, their earnings are lower compared to the previous quarter. Okay, so how about the month of March? Okay, so March is not a really very heavy earnings month, but we still have some of the earnings like Binastra, MyNews, and also CYL to be reported their earnings. Okay, and just to let you know, Binastra and MyNews, they have been inside this list since the December quarter. Okay, since for the past 6 months. Okay, their names has been here, and their result has been improving, as you can see. Okay, so with current with the recent selling, okay, then you might really want to see if some of these stocks whether worth looking at it or not. Okay. Yep. Okay. So, how about the economic outlook? If we are looking at the economic outlook wise, we can see. I'm gonna use the U.S. as a benchmark to have a view of how the things going, because U.S. is the first area that gonna be affected and feel the pain from all this tariff. Okay. Yep. So as what we are seeing right over here, we can see that the job numbers, the non-farm payrolls, all this thing has been coming down in the month of February, and this week, which is on Friday, we will have a new set of NFP data, the non-farm payroll, the job data. Okay, so if we are seeing another weaker data happening in the month of in this Friday, then that could like really hinting and also highlighting to the market that the payroll has been coming down, and we might seeing recession is a mild, hopefully it's a mild one, is on its way. Okay, yeah. Even though we are seeing unemployment rates just slightly lower, but it's the employment rate is still lower. Okay. And as for the CPI, CPI, which is telling us the inflation, so we can see the CPI starts to move higher already. Month on month, it has been started to move higher. So that's actually even telling us that is the inflation is like really could be happening. Okay, and we also seeing retail sales number has been coming out, telling us that things are getting more expensive, and people are unwilling to spend on it. Okay, people are being really conservative. They really want to keep their money rather than just spending. Okay, and that is bad for economy. Okay, yeah, so these are some of the signs that we can pick up. We can see the consumer confidence also has been coming down, and existing home sales also coming down. Especially I read through some of the article talking about the home prices in US has been hitting high, as they are also talking about putting on a lumber tariff, which that could increase the cost for all these new homes in US. Okay, so you can see all this spending, all these people are willing to spend, and but the price are going up, and that's really unhealthy for the economy from where we are looking at it. Okay, so do really be prepared, and also take a back seat. Maybe you want to keep more cash, all this, and also we can see the manufacturing reports also has been coming down, and that could relate to the economic growth. Is expected to go slow and even going into a decline mode. Okay, so economy wise is really weak, and that could support into the interest for safe haven like the gold. That's why we are seeing the gold price still remain at 2,900, and also potentially some cryptocurrencies whereby US are looking to make them as the reserve, US reserve. Okay, so other than these two, if we are talking about the stocks, why stocks is always a more aggressive assets or investment tools that we are talking about. But in stocks wise, then we might really want to look into real estate investment trust REITs, or looking into some of the more defensive sector like maybe healthcare. Okay, so last but not least, on the seasonality part, for the month of March, oh, okay, so for the month of March, what we can see right over here is most of them, not most, is all of them, they are in red, especially with energy, transportation, and also technology. So why these three sectors are the one that's doing really badly in the month of March? Okay, so you can see from right over here the industry data, the performance, they are based on 5 years average. Okay, if we are taking 5 years from not including this year because it haven't happened now, which is 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. Oh, sorry, it's 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, including last year. Okay, yeah. So this data, it includes the March of 2020, which is the time where first the crisis that we had during the COVID-19. That's why you can see the seasonality wise, all of the counters, they came down. Okay, especially on the technology, transportation, and also energy, because during that time, with the MCO, with all this the the limitations of flying, all this thing, the demand for crude oil is like really bad during back in 5 years back in March in 2020. Okay, the crude oil price were once went into negative. Okay, can you believe that's negative? Due to some of the warehouse costs, all this. So the crude oil prices, the futures prices, it even went to negative. Okay, so that could that really dragged down the seasonality performances. Okay, but if we are looking at 20 years average wise, FPMs, KLC, and also the small cap, both of them, they are also still in red, whereby March is likely to be a profit taking, or if February has been performing, okay, a profit taking month is a month that we really want to be more cautious and less aggressive. Okay, so of course, like just now what we mentioned, that some of the alternative that you can look at into, it could be like REITs, and some of these REITs that has been posted higher dividend yield, or you can look into some of the healthcare, or from healthcare counters like KPG, like IHH, who has been posted strong results, and also they are more on the defensive sides. Okay, yep. So in summary, okay, March is not a really friendly month for most of the traders, and in the month of March, we really want to be more conservative, and want to look into the strategy whereby bottom fishing could be a better strategy for the month of March, whereby look for the supports to buy as the selling momentum slow down, and also sell once you see money, take money, and be nimble for the month of March. All right. Okay. So that will be the idea on the tariff, on the earnings, and some of the opportunities that we are talking about for the month of March. All right. Okay. So we have another sections in this month. We're gonna share it in our social media Facebook page. Okay. So do feel free to follow us on all our social media to be updated with our other sections. Okay, and if you would like to open accounts or want to know more about our companies, do feel free to scan the code or even WhatsApp us at this number 018-239-3966. All right, okay, so that will be all for today. Thank you very much, and for those Bumi clients, selamat Ramadan. Okay, all right, okay, thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye bye.